Our Gospel's story this morning speaks of Zacchaeus, and we all know that story, probably know it well. Zacchaeus climbed up the tree to see Jesus. Very interesting story. This is Roger from MSC Mission Office, and you're with Mission Alive. Zacchaeus, as we know from the story, couldn't see Jesus because he was short. So he climbed up the tree. Now, Zacchaeus was a tax collector, and he was a wealthy man. Tax collectors were not liked, not only because they were tax collectors. Nobody likes the tax man. Even today, we don't like the tax man. But in those days, two things. They collected taxes for the Romans, and the Romans were an oppressive political colonial power, and also the taxes went to Caesar, and Caesar was regarded by the Romans as a god. So giving money to a false god was against Jewish faith. So Zacchaeus was a tax collector. He was also, in a sense, a heretic, taking money and giving it to a false god. The other thing is, as I've said before, they were allowed to collect as much as they liked to support themselves, and some were greedy and collected more. And we have on record that Zacchaeus was a rich man. So he was not liked at all. He was not a popular figure. And yet here he was, climbing up a tree. Now, because he was wealthy, he would have had some status, even if he wasn't liked. He would have been, in a sense, an important person. He just climbed up a tree like a small boy. So people would have said, look at that, Zacchaeus has climbed up a tree. And, was, in a sense, undignified. But Zacchaeus was so keen to see Jesus, he didn't care about that. Climbed up the tree. Jesus was aware of that entire situation. He was aware that Zacchaeus was a tax collector and all of that meant to the Jewish people. He was aware of the people's attitude towards Zacchaeus, that he was a tax collector, that he was a wealthy man, and how did he get his wealth, if not by cheating the people, and that he was not liked, maybe even despised, not intensely disliked. And for Zacchaeus to go up the tree and, in that sense, put himself on display in front of the people by climbing up a tree to see Jesus was a big thing for Zacchaeus to do. And so Jesus, aware of that whole situation, looks up and calls Zacchaeus, "What are you doing up there? Come down here. I want to go to your house today. I want to stay in your house today." Of course, Zacchaeus comes down and he's very happy about that. Now, in doing that, Jesus challenged Zacchaeus. If you really want to see me, come down and see me, and I will stay in your house today. He was challenging all the people to say, this man was so keen to see me, he did what he did. He climbed up the tree and, in a sense, put himself on this public display. And what is your attitude towards Zacchaeus? He would have been implying to the people. And I think more importantly, in Jesus issuing those two challenges, one to Zacchaeus and one to the people, was saying, everybody is important. Everybody matters. I'm here for everyone. Now, Jesus did lots of things for the poor, for the disabled, his attitude towards people, the children, etc., but also there with this important man. And Jesus also talked to the leaders of the people. He also sat and talked and ate with the Pharisees because all were important, and he saw that his mission was to all, to change them to come back to true faith, which was that of God's commandment right back in the Old Testament, love God, love your neighbour. And that's what Jesus was about. In a sense, if he was here, he would be into the renewal of the church. He was into the renewal of the Jewish faith. Get back to the basics. Love the Lord your God with all your mind, all your heart, and all your soul, and love your neighbour as yourself. That's the key to it. And as Jesus said, that is the basis of both the law and the prophets. And that's what Jesus was preaching here today. And that's what we need to preach. What is our attitude towards people? To the poor, to the disabled, to the rich, to the mighty. They all are called to live a proper Christian life, a proper human life. And that's our mission, to live that ourselves and also to encourage and challenge others to do.